Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of For Love of the Raid. We've got the usuals with us today, Kath and Trik, and we've done a couple listicle episodes. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch it up, and we're going to do the segment that I'm going to try calling Week in WoW, or WoW for short. But anyways, what we'll do is we'll talk about what we got up to the last week, what went well, what didn't went well, what we got coming up, all that sorts of stuff. Anyways, Trik, Kath, thank you both for coming on once again. And do
Hello,
one of
hello.
you maybe want to start just by talking about what'd you get up to in the last week? Do any fun runs, any dungeons, any gear, anything like that?
Wouldn't week in WoW be Wii?
Oh yeah, it'd be WIW.
Yes, that is how you spell.
There
This
goes
week was
that.
fun. I actually just got off playing my warrior tank as a priest main. It was my first time tanking any dungeon, which was actually super fun. I got to do it with my wife and got to learn all about how to properly pull. So that was super fun. What else have I done? We recently hit 60, so we've been running a lot of strat bomb. Trying to gear up, getting ready for some ZG AQ20 action, and then hopefully get some frost resist gear and hit up Nax when it gets released.
What'd you think of Strat?
Strathome's cool. I think Scholomance looks a lot cooler. I looked into it a bit after Trick was putting it so high on his list. And I gotta say, man, that place looks sick. I'm excited to do those places a few runs.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Trick,
Yeah,
can you remind us, and if you haven't already, make sure to listen to episode 2, where we each did our top 5 favorite WoW dungeons. And Trick's was very level 60 dungeon heavy. Trick, is Scalo more fun than Strat? I don't remember.
I think I put Strat mainly on my number one because of just like all the lore behind it. I think it's a really cool dungeon to do. Scholomance just gives those like creepy sort of like dungeon feels. It's a really cool dungeon, honestly. And I haven't run it yet on my mage. I don't know if I should just go right into my, you know, update, but I haven't done Skull yet on my mage, just at 60. So just grinding out all the gear right now and getting ready for the raids. I know that tomorrow we're going to be doing the MC attunement, so we can kind of do that.
yeah, I'm
And I'll
excited
probably
for
try and
that.
get into like a ZG or AQ20, try and get a little bit more pieces before we go into going through like MC, BWL, Ani, and of course like AQ, Nax, blah, blah. So just trying to gear up right now after just hitting 60.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for Scalo. Kath and I ran a bunch of Strat, and we did mostly undead, but then we did one live side, and I really liked live.
Hmm.
I don't know about you guys. I think
Yeah,
live is
live's
more
fun.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I agree with
Especially
Undead's
like
fine.
the cannoneer, like when you get to like blast the
you.
mobs and stuff, and then Balnazar on the last boss. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I definitely got a lot of Scarlet Monastery vibes, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah,
But and I mentioned this in that second episode, like I love Scarlet Monastery, but it didn't come near the top of my list because like I don't know, they're just like one boss in each one, and it's just a lot of, pulling mobs. But live strat was like really cool, and like multiple bosses, each of them was pretty cool. So yeah, I've on my side, all I've really done is strat a whole bunch of times. We've all been kind of waiting to do BRD together, and probably Scalo too. I don't know. What like Trick, can you tell us like when you hit fresh 60, what's the average like rotation? Like I know TBC pretty well, right? You start with the level 70 dungeons, you work your way up to heroics, and then you start getting ready for Kara.
yeah.
What's the like vanilla equivalent for us noobs?
Well, if if it was like fresh classic, Dire Maul wouldn't be like out yet. But since if you're going right now, I think Dire Maul running the Skolo and Strats is a great like entry point. You definitely want to get some gear through those before you start getting into, you know, like maybe like the 20 mans like ZGAQ, just so you can get those blue pieces and you can work at getting some of. I mean, I think Skolo has a few epics in it as well, but for the most part, I think just the top like 58 to 60 dungeons is pretty good
Nice.
with
And
Diremaul
what's the
attached. I mean, some people get some like pieces from BRD. BRD is pretty big as
right?
well once you get to like Emperor and Princess and those types. But I think Skolo Strat Diremaul are probably the that you want to do and complete before you go into the raids.
Right.
You guys get any big gear this week?
I got Redemption. I think I got that in BRD. I'm not 100% sure. I also bought a lot off the auction house to get myself stacked up a little bit.
Yeah, same.
Trick, anything big
Luckily,
on your end?
luckily, auction house pieces for like fire mage gear is like pretty cheap. So I bought a lot of that. And yeah, same. I just bought some auction house gear. For the most part, the gear was cheap, so I'm kind of like ready to jump into like a ZG or
Yeah, at first I was like, again, I don't know what I'm doing because I've never been max level at 60 and running all these strats and seeing all these BOE blues and being like, oh, this is awesome. And these will probably sell for so much, only to realize that they don't. But, and then the other thing I noticed as a druid is the gear kind of sucks in strat. It's been fun and I've gotten a few pieces, like, and I'm even pulling it up right now. I think I got this cloak, like a blue cloak, which is pretty good, and then a couple of the like one or two BOE blues from the whatever the leather set, but
I
nothing that
mean,
crazy.
we're
So
talking about how our weeks were in WoW. Like we're doing a little recap. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention what happened in our strat run, Jack.
which one?
You had a slight fumble, and I think it would be best if you gave the recap on what happened at the gate.
Why am I drawing a blank?
Likely because you're tanking a dungeon as we speak, but I
Ooh,
assume you don't
ooh,
recall that
that's a
you
big idol,
ended
dude.
wow.
you ended the run
Oh,
midway. Maybe
right.
you want to give us a quick recap on how it went.
So yeah, first of all, Trick and I are doing a strat as we speak, and I just got a really good relic to draw. So
Nice.
that's kind of dope. Anyways, yeah, so we're doing Undead Strat, and as I've said a few times, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. And so we cleared all the bosses, and we were getting up to the section at the end with the A-bombs, and I didn't realize that as soon as you start the A-bombs, it starts like an event, and the gate closes. So I think like the healer or like a healer and the DPS were outside of the gates still drinking, and I started the event because I've been known to pull without waiting for the healer once or twice, and suffice to say
It's an
that
understatement.
that run ended there. So for all you tanks or eager beavers like myself, if you're doing strat, just remember that when you get to the big room with the A bombs, you want to make sure everybody is inside that first gate before starting to pull the first one. But hey, you live and you learn. The group was like relatively understanding, which is kind of chill. I wasn't really sure. Like, did you guys have any expectations in terms of like, 20-year-old game, everyone's super sweaty, stuff like that? Like, I'd say so far the people I've been playing with have been pretty chill. I mean, we haven't raided yet,
I
mostly
agree.
dungeons, but everyone's been
I
pretty
figure
chill.
that most of the dungeons that I've ran at 60, whether it was BRT or Strat, often at least one player is like clearly decked out in all raid gear.
Mm-hmm.
And they're super understanding if like we need to drink a little bit more than they're used to or get a bit slower on pulls. I also
Well,
had that same thought process coming in. I was like, man, everyone's going to be sweaty. I'm going to get pushed around until I get some raid gear. But everyone, I assume, is either kind of killing time before Nax and just kind of having fun with runs, or they're leveling up alts.
Mm-hmm.
the main reason why you see a lot of geared people in Strat right now is they're farming rep for next
Right.
So Nax is about to come out, and you need a certain amount of rep in order to do the, I don't want to call it like an attunement quest, but it's kind of like you need to do like the small quests, and you need to turn in like X amount of like arcane crystals, nexus crystals, and some gold in order to get attuned for Nax. So, but depending on your rep, the amount of required materials decreases.
Right.
So that's why you'll see like a lot more geared people right now going to
What's
Nax. I think it's less sweaty, especially since I've always played on PvP servers, and I feel that on PvE servers, people are a lot more chill. They're
right?
Mhm.
not as tryhards
That's
on
a good
PvE
point.
servers. Even though, like, obviously you have those guilds that on PvE servers they sweat out, but for the most part, when you're doing like dungeons and whatnot, you get down to earth people a lot more in PvE realms.
Yeah, that's a good. I didn't really think about that.
What do you want your reputation to be for Argent
I
Dawn?
mean, exalted preferably, but I mean it's not needed. So it's like I think if I'm not mistaken, if you have to be honored first of all
I'm
to
halfway
even do
through
the
honor, so
quest.
that's good.
Yeah. So I think you need like 5 or 6 arcane crystals, like 3 nexus crystals, and like 60 gold or something like that if you're honored. And
And
then if you're
where do you buy
if you're
these?
revered, you just need like some arcane crystals and gold. And then if you're exalted, I believe it's just gold or just arcane crystals or something like that.
Gotcha.
So
Nice. What do you guys? So now that we're kind of 60, we're getting settled in. What do you say are the maybe 2 or 3 things you're most excited for? Could be in like the coming week or two, or just for the rest of the vanilla expansion.
I definitely want to gear up. I think gearing is going to be really fun and like running some raids with you guys. And then getting prepped for TBC. I'm like so freaking ready for TBC, to be honest.
And I'm so the opposite in the sense that like I've done TBC twice and I've never rated at it at 60. So I'm like fine, like I'm excited for the vanilla stuff personally.
Right.
I'm pumped to even just do like a full BRD. I know that's not like you don't get to 60 just to run BRD, but BRD is an awesome dungeon.
Hmm.
As you kind of alluded to, Trick, like I think the most fun thing in WoW, like the most fun part of WoW, is getting to a fresh max level and starting to gear up. So I
Yeah.
love this phase that we're in right now. I'm pumped to do BRD. I've never done Dire Maul other than at like 70 or 80 for fun. So I'm excited to do Dire Maul at 60. And I'm pretty fired up to do MC. MC is like the one raid, and we'll probably like roll through it because now it's like, everyone's way further ahead. But number one, the 40 man. I've never done a 40 man at 60. So I'm interested to see what that dynamic is like. And MC is just cool, like the fire, all the fiery stuff and the BRD vibes. So that's what I'm pretty pumped for. ZG also looks fun.
What's so exciting about it for me personally is that I guess it's perfect that both of you guys explain that first because I'm so excited for both ends of it. I've never rated at 60. So the two things right now that I'm excited for are A, getting to experience all the level 60 dungeons like BRD and School Immense and Dire Maul, and then gearing up so that we can start doing ZG, AQ20, and then hitting Nax maybe a few times. But what I'm most excited about is I get to enjoy all that only for it to end and then go right into TBC, which I know you're not as excited for, Shaq, but I am extremely excited for TBC because that's my favorite expansion. I know that like the back of my hand. Karazhan is like easily my favorite raid. Like I seriously enjoy running it. It's fun. It's exciting. It's so different compared to all the other ones. So it's just like it's a win-win for me. So I couldn't be more excited for it.
Yeah, it's a good time to be playing. And one thing that's given me renewed excitement for TBC, because TBC may be the greatest expansion. I've just done it twice already, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm happy I did was roll Druid. because what I am
Right.
excited for is to do TBC as a non-warrior, because every other time I've done it, it's been as a warrior. So it'll
Right.
be a little bit fresh in that regard. Kara's friggin' amazing. I love tier 1 of TBC. Kara, I love Gruul. Mag is like, it's fun. I don't know. I don't think it's as good. I think Kara and Gruul are like S tier,
Yeah.
but yeah, it'll be fun. I want to make the most of what's left of vanilla for whatever we have the 3-4 months.
Gruul was super fun.
Yeah.
I love Gruul.
Yeah.
I don't know what
And
it
it's
is.
like, it's such a short raid. And it all comes down to that just one pull to start. Like, it's so fun.
Yeah, the first boss is basically just can you nail the pull?
Yep.
And then the second boss, Gruul himself, is like, can people spread out?
Yeah. I remember that one of the first times we ran Gruul, the three of us were there. And mid-fight, I'm nervous as hell because I'm like, all I want to focus on is not wiping and not dying. And like, just stay in my position, stay against the wall. And all of a sudden I get a message from Trik. And he's like, you got mana pots? We're in the middle of the boss fight. And I'm like, I do. And he just leaves his position, runs over to me, opens up trade. And that was it.
It's great. I mean, listen, we're
You need mana, you need
definitely
mana, man.
we're gonna talk a lot about TBC closer to then too. Reminisce on some stories. I think when TBC comes along, part of what we'll have to talk about is stories from the last time we ran it. But anyways. All right, boys. So any last minute thoughts or things you're excited about or wanted to touch upon before we wrap up?
I'm excited for tomorrow, man. We're going to run BRD.
Do the lava jump to get a tune for MC. Be fun.
Yeah. Trik's going to guide us. I'm excited for it.
Awesome. Well, thanks to you both as always for coming on. Thanks for everybody for
Much
listening.
appreciated. Thanks for
Let
having
us know if you guys like the Weekend WoW kind of format, and maybe we'll do it every week or two.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Thanks, everybody. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure to like, comment, all that fun stuff, whether it's YouTube or the podcast. And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, everyone.